All right, so what's good? I'm gonna just jump right into it, and I might add some people to my live stream. Probably people I've already spoke to before. If you guys want to join the live stream, and yeah, we just can't. I'm just if you got to join it, don't talk about the whole thing and what we went through, and that's mainly it. I would say don't harass, but when you niggas talk shit, it ain't like the same way I do it. That's one thing about me. When I grew up, when people can talk shit all they want, and even when I'm observing other people, people can run their mouth and they can talk all the bullshit they want, and it really is not a problem. But when I talk my shit, it's more impactful, and people get more angry and want to fight me more quicker. That's just how it was for me. Like when I was younger, I'll say things and then it'll be like that, and then now it's because because when I talk shit, I go in depth. I got a Mercury in the eighth house, so I can look at you, read your energy, and if I hang around you for a while, I can pretty much know exactly your triggers and all that other shit. And I get to the root cause, and then that irritates the fuck out of people. And then that's when they will try to like get violent with you and shit, or try to they'll try to twist shit around. Because at the end of the day, we all got problems. Nobody doesn't not have an issue. And the people who don't realize they have an issue, those are the ones with the biggest issue. So when you see people try to act like they got something to hide or they don't got no issues, that's showing that they got a darker shadow, because we all have issues and shadows. That's why you're a fucking human, dumbass. But so what's good, everyone? I want to talk about this shit because this 9 to 5 shit, a lot of people don't understand. When you work a 9 to 5 or when you work at a job somewhere, that is your life. That corporation, they control you, and that is your life. And the reason I want to talk about this shit is because I realize that's the reason why people are so dumb, is because they have their whole time is spent working at this 9 to 5, so they have no time to do anything. So when they're on their break or when they're not working that 9 to 5, the only thing they're doing is scrolling on their news feed. This is for 99% of people. So they're either working at their 9 to 5 or they're scrolling on their news feed. And those are the two things. And when I say these two things, I'm saying this is what makes up probably 95% of their day. Probably 5% they'll do miscellaneous bullshit, eat shit, sleep, and do whatever. But for 95%, they're scrolling on their news feed and they're working, because this is all they can do. And since time is getting shorter, people are losing more motivation and hope and feel like the world is over. And that's just going to get worse as we get into Saturn and Aries. Right now, Saturn and Pisces is making people believe that. But when Saturn and Aries comes, people are going to be believing that shit. And they're going to be feeling hella like restricted and not like they can be themselves. And they're going to be feeling lonely, like they can't connect, because people are going to be more sheep once Saturn gets into Aries, which is going to bring about people not feeling like they can express themselves, and that people are just very lonely. And like me, I don't get lonely at all. I never get lonely. I don't. As a matter of fact, the more people that are around me, the more I don't like. And the reason I say that is because I only can connect with people who are like in my tribe. So like if I do get lonely, it'll be people who think like me. Like if you don't think like I would rather be alone than hang out with people who don't think like me. So if I'm around people who don't think like me, stay the far fuck away from me. So that's how I am. But if it's people, if I yearn to want to be around somebody or like have a partner with like a female, is people who think like me. That's it. I would rather be alone than be with people who don't fucking think like me. Like this time we're in, we need to have cult vibes. You need to join a cult. You need to create your cult. And when I say cult, I'm saying what the fuck you think it means, nigga. And I don't mean do it in a way that's going to harm anybody, because I'm not about harming people, but they never talk about a cult that doesn't harm people. They always talk about cults that do sexual shit or kill people, because they don't want you to have your own, because they want you to be a part of their cult. This is why you fucking hate 99% of people in this fucking reality, because they're part of the American cult, and you fucking hate the American cult because of what you I don't need to say no more. You hate the fucking American cult. We all know that shit. So like they don't want you to be a part of that. They want you to be a part of that, not create your own. And then that's when I'm like, fuck that. I'm creating my own cult. And then when you mention cult, people will be, oh, it's bad and they want to make it a negative. That's the American cult mind control trying to keep you from exiting their cult. And when you do, they want to make you look crazy. So, because at this point, like when you go to your 9 to 5, everybody's in a cult. This is why you don't fucking agree with them. You fucking hate them. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't think like you. A cult is people that think on one frequency, and then somebody who doesn't think, then that's when they got to get with the program and get the fuck out. If you don't get with this system's program, you got to get the fuck out. Same way at your fucking 9 to 5, they'll fire your ass, and everybody there is a sheep. Because the way these corporations are even built and structured, they have to, like, a lot of you guys think when they make these jobs, it just goes into the resource and building the building and telling people what to do. No, there's a lot of mind control. And like I told you guys before, and I'll always tell you, when you want to create your own system, it's not about the resource and the money and all that shit. That comes secondary. It's the mentality, because you need to have people to believe what you're about to start. Then once you have enough people, then that's energy, and that energy is what helps build. Why do you think people help build America? Because they believe that they're going to get some value from it. So this shit wouldn't be built without belief. It's not like this shit was built itself. So you need the mental energy first. So that's where we need to start if you want to create your own shit. The mind, and then that mindset, which is the cult that you create, which everyone say, oh, don't create a cult and all that. Shut the fuck up, nigga. At the end of the day, if you don't think like me, I don't agree with you. If you don't think like me, I don't agree with you. I'm not saying 100%, but if you don't think at least over 90% like me, I don't fucking agree with you. I don't agree with you, and get the fuck away from me. I'm not going to say we're an enemy, because that's the divide and conquer. We can still not agree, but still come together on one accord. On one accord, we both fucking hate this government, we hate this system, and we want to at least have our own peace. So we each could be our own cult. If you have your cult, we don't agree with you, that's fine. But when we come together, is to build projects, make money, and do shit. And when I say money, I don't mean like their government. I'm talking about anything that is of value. So right now it's money, but if this system ends, it's gonna be something else. But to build and do whatever, that's what it's supposed to get to. Anything else is just, we don't gotta agree, that's fine. But at the end of the day, what we all can agree on is we all want our peace, we want to destroy this shit, we all want to spiritually grow. That's what we all can agree on. Everyone just doing it in their own way, and that's fine. I'm not gonna sit there. At the end of the day, there's a CEO of fucking this company and a CEO of that company. They both run their company differently, and they don't agree about the same shit. But at the end of the day, the fact is they both run a fucking multi-million-dollar corporation, even though they're doing things they don't agree with, that they wouldn't do in their company and they wouldn't do. See what I'm saying? So everyone, they're each successful in their own way. And everyone has their own role. Not everyone has to be like the leader of the system. Like, people want to say, oh, like, at the end of the day, if everyone has their part to play. Just because you don't play this world doesn't mean you're not special at all. It's just everyone has their fucking part to play to help the thing. But I'm gonna answer some of these questions and shit. No, it's not. He's like, well, do you think time speeding up will force people to go against the system? It's got to make it worse. It's got to make people be more enslaved by the system. Like, a lot of you guys thinking these things are going to help are actually going to be the opposite. They're going to make it worse. Like right now, society is on a decline mentally, socially, economically, spiritually. It's on a decline society right now. This is why they have the new age telling you, oh, fifth dimension and the so-called Jays, they're going to get dealt with and punished, and it's all that programming. I'm not saying they're not going to, but the only way they're gonna get dealt with and punished is if we do something. It's like if you're hungry and you don't go to the store to get something to eat, or you don't put food in your mouth, you're gonna starve. You can't say, oh, the starvation's gonna go by itself because I'm going to this fifth dimension. And shut the fuck up, nigga. Go get some damn food. You're in this third dimension reality. That's where you're at. At the end of the day, you still have a human body. So that's the same with the thing. How the hell these J words and all these people gotta so-called perish and be killed, but nobody's doing anything? Like, what? How am I gonna pick up this bottle or this water bottle without picking it up? Somebody has to pick it up, otherwise I can't pick it up. You can't say, oh, I'm gonna pick it up, or it's picked up. It's got to be picked up, but it never pick it up. People are fucking so dumb and fucking like they don't make any sense. Like I don't. You go into the society, everyone's getting dumber. People are getting more like the 2020. That sealed that pretty much taught should have told you guys everything you needed to know. People are dumb as fuck and not waking up anytime soon. Anybody who entertains 2020 a little bit is a fucking moron. And I'm not going to go too deep, but anybody who entertains 2020 a little bit is a moron. And that's over 90% of people, whether they believe it or they don't believe it, but they believe, or they believe it, or they believe it and they feel like I could take herbs and follow Dr. Sebi and shut your ass up, nigga. You're fucking a dumb fuck because you're entertaining it. Stop entertaining it. That has nothing to do with nothing. Dumb piece of shit. This is why we got to go through the same bullshit again, wearing shit over our, you stupid ass. It's either you believe it or you don't. Don't sit there and try to act like, well, I believe it, but the government, shut the fuck up, nigga. The government created that narrative, you fucking retard. You wouldn't know anything of that narrative if it wasn't for the government. Understand that shit, nigga. The time speeding up is not going to force us to force people. It's going to actually make it worse. It's going to actually be harder for you to complete your purposes. Like before I said, it's going to be easier, but those are for people who are on a high frequency. But if you're on a low frequency, it's going to be harder because now, like to say, an example, let's just say you smoke dope all day and you just fucking you smoke dope all day. Now with time going by quicker, you're going to feel like you didn't get to smoke enough dope during the day, so you got to make it up for tomorrow. So now you're on a hamster wheel to want to keep smoking more dope now because you're not really smoking as much because time's speeding up. That's how somebody lower frequency, whereas someone higher frequency, they're actually doing the thing they're supposed to be doing, and the things that they don't like to do, but they have to do, it ends up being not as big of a deal, and they can get through it. And once they start seeing the results from them doing it, then they'll want to keep doing that. You see what I'm saying? So it depends what frequency you're on. But most people are on a very low frequency, so it's actually going to make it worse. This is why, like, you see a lot of the crime and people going out and stealing a lot more, and people doing, like, they're talking about just the violence, the assaults. It's because these energies. Like I'm telling you, nigga, this shit ain't no joke. You see the crime going up. You see the fucking all the shit going on, the violence, the assaults more, the more homelessness, all the crazy shit. Is because these energies and people are feeling it, so they're going crazy more. They feel like they got to do more. Because the energies, I'm telling you. Because this whole time, people are feeling times. Like Jay mentioned, like people don't talk about time speeding up that much, and it's not that people don't talk about, but people are subconsciously acting it out. When you see somebody out here doing some crazy shit they weren't doing before, that's a reaction to them knowing that it's speeding up. Because some people when they realize something, they'll tell you about it. Some people, they have to subconsciously tell you, so maybe they know time is speeding up, but they don't say it physically or consciously, but then they act it out as they start doing things that coincide with time speeding up. Like they act crazier or more. They're doing shit they weren't doing when time was. So everyone expresses themselves different. Some verbally, some they do it through their actions, but everyone knows what the fuck is going on. Some people, you got to understand, most people's minds are very feeble. Like when you go to a dog and an animal and you talk to a dog and an animal, you say, "What's up, dog?" Is he gonna say hi to you? No, because his brain isn't that developed to be able to respond. So human beings are like that, but in a higher magnitude than animals, but in a lower magnitude to spiritual beings like me and you. You see what I'm saying? So they're like an animal, but just a step above it. So they can still comprehend human stuff, but not as much as us, and just above a dog. So they're a different type of animal, but it's not a dog, but it's not completely like us. They're like a very human and third dimensional. It's like a special. That's why they can't fathom this information, because even if they try, they just can't. Some spirits, they just aren't able to. Some people even have karma where they have to be ignorant. So this shit gets deep like that. That's what I'm telling you guys. Like some people are no different than a fucking animal. A dog, that's like when you see a dog, you give a dog food, he does the same thing the moment you leave, or you do this. The animal, like the animals, they just all on a fucking like cyclical like routine, and they do the same shit. Like they can't control themselves. It's like an urge and a habit that they can't control. That's how some of these humans are. This is why they can't understand. They're feeble-minded and they're stupid. So like they can't even grasp talking about time speeding up, because if they start speaking about it, like their mind can't even go to that level. Like how I'm talking, I'm able to flow and get the message out. Some people, their minds are so feeble they can't do that, because like I said, their brain isn't developed. Even though they look human and they may talk human and do human shit, their brain is just like a cat, but it's a little bit more, so they can talk and communicate with me and you, but they can't comprehend and express the same way. These are some humans. It's like a certain type of animal type human. I'm calling like an animal type, but it's a different mind frequency that they have. And these niggas are in a different world, because the mind is the world. Anytime you guys are reach a higher frequency mentally, the world looks different. You're in the same world, but people sound different. Everything looks different. It's like you're in a different location. So when I talk about world, it's the mentality. These niggas are in our own world. You can switch worlds. Once you get out of your depression, you're going to see the world differently. People are going to sound differently. You're going to think differently. You're going to have different desires, different feelings, different thoughts. But then that's going to be the different aspect of yourself that you mate in another world. That's what I would say is another world. It's the mentality of your mind. Because you can't switch worlds the way you think. Just like when I look at the world and I think is different than you. When I look at this same building, we're both seeing a building, but you're seeing it differently than me, even though we're still seeing it. Because this is why some people like the color red, some people like the color blue, because we're all in our different world, having our experience, but we're sharing it. So the world is nothing more than a mind. Read some of these comments and shit. What's up? What's good with it? Yeah. Oh yeah, clown boy. Yeah, he has some of my videos and shit back in the day. I'm actually glad, because I remember I seen my channel and shit, and I was like, oh, I still remember my channel. It's like some memory I have of my old channel. I don't even know, like I don't even remember what the fuck that dude was talking about in that video. Trying to say I'm some Illuminati. Like any dumbass that's gonna go on here and say anybody's a Mason or Illuminati is a fucking idiot. I'm a Mason and I'm Illuminati and I'm driving this fucking car. Are you stupid? I'm spending fucking money. Are you dumb? Like, if I was a Mason Illuminati nigga, I'd be in a fucking mansion. I'd be on a hill somewhere with about 3 goddamn penthouse suites. I'd be doing it big. Like, you guys will see it. And if not that, you niggas will see my power. As in, I'll be able to fucking you niggas will know. And I probably won't even be talking to you niggas, because in order for me to be in that space where I have that amount of energy and power, I wouldn't even attract you guys, or you guys wouldn't be attracted to me. It wouldn't even make any sense, because the things I would have to do to get into that position will be so against what the fuck I'm talking about, you dumbass. You guys are so dumb. Like, you just think like shit just happens, like somebody just Illuminati or somebody just gets this for like, there's no like mental work. Like, that's why like a lot of you guys may see a lot of people and you might hate on them sometimes, but you don't understand the shit that they do behind closed doors to even get in that situation. So then you hate for no reason, like, because you may see, oh, this person is this, that, but you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Nobody shows you their negatives, or nobody does it. People like to make shit look easy. Like part of in my chart, I have a placement where I don't like to show my power really. And like when I'm making videos, I'm teaching you guys, but when I'm in public, I don't like to show my power. Like, I like to just play dumb and just observe and let people talk. And I will say intelligent, slick things that that don't sound spiritual. They sound like there'll be like, you know how you can't talk spiritual to these sheep. What I would do is I will say something that's physical that has to do with what they like to do, and I will say it in a way that's deep And the same way you guys, when you guys watch me, you guys get that moment of learning, they get that same moment, but I don't say nothing spiritual. It's like I say something that has nothing to do with spirituality, but because I know how to speak like that. So I be observing and I be dropping shit, and then people be like, how you be knowing shit? Like these sheep that they don't even believe in the spiritual shit, I be breaking down mundane surface level shit. And then they be like, that's how deep I could get deep with anything, even surface level sheep shit I can get deep with. But I don't want to use my mind to that. I don't use my mind to do that stupid shit because I can communicate with everybody. Like I'm a very social person. I have a 3 life number. I can communicate. I can talk to anybody. I'm a very charismatic person and shit. So when I'm around people, I don't, this is why I like to be alone, because if I'm too charismatic, people want to come and be cool with me, but then I don't really fucking like want to fuck with them like that. And then people get upset and think you better than them. And it's like, I just don't agree with you. I don't think well, I do think I'm better, but the reason I think I'm better is because I'm motherfucking spiritual, not because I'm some superficial shit. You stupid asses. Yeah, you don't need food to maintain. You don't need food to maintain strength and muscle mass, but you gotta work your way up to that point. It's not when you first start doing fasting, you gotta lose weight, but your body will stabilize the more you keep doing it. Your body will stabilize the more you keep doing it. Timothy said, do you think trauma blocks you're willing to express yourself? I think you mentioned that. It does. That's why you have them, right? That's why I say you have to create your own emotion in life. You can't wait for something to happen for you to do this, because when you do that, you're actually shaking hands with the devil. Like you're taking the demonic path. Because let's just say the spirit told you to do this and you weren't feeling like doing it. So you wait and then you do it when you want to do it. When you do it when you want to do it, it's gonna be, you'll want to do it and you'll do it, but then you're gonna, opportunities that would have happened if you did it earlier aren't gonna be there. So you're never making your life easier, because as hard as it would have been if you would have done it, you would have gotten more perks. But then you did it when you wanted to do it, so you got the perk of wanting to do it, but you didn't get the added benefits because you didn't go through the necessary pain and experience you needed to go. So there's no shortcuts. You may think you're taking a shortcut. Oh, I'm gonna do what I want to. I don't want to do it now. But then if you would have did it when you didn't want to do it, you would have gotten something even better than now. But you don't know that. So there's no shortcuts. You got to create your emotion now. And that's the hard thing. Sometimes it can get hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but you have to, because a lot of you guys probably think, oh, I'm going to do this. Because they sell you on spiritual. Once you know spirituality, your life is perfect and you got the keys to life. And that's what they try to sell you with this new age. Oh, you found spirituality? You can manifest this and you could be the owner and this and that. And you can. I'm not saying you can't, but you have to put in some energy, a lot of work. And this is why you don't see a lot of people successful in the spiritual. Most people work fucking regular 9 to 5s and bullshit at Amazon, and they just watch YouTube and collect crystals. Nobody's really doing it big, making no big moves, because the real spiritual work is very, very tough and hard and takes perseverance and diligence, which a lot of people don't make it. This is why you hear a lot more people talking about how spirituality can manifest your desire. You can do this, but they're still regular Joe, just like their coworker that they think they're better than, but you're still working in the same place as him. You see what I'm saying? There's really no shortcut in life and no ticket that's easy other than you doing the work and doing what you're supposed to do. And that's going to take time and energy, because a lot of positions you guys want to be in, with money, with females, with whatever the fuck you want, if you don't go through certain disciplines and necessary things before you get that shit will destroy you, and you'll manifest situations where that shit will destroy you and kill you. So you have to go through certain things, so by the time you get those things, you're able to handle it better. Because let's say you got $1 million right now and you didn't get out of your thing. If you lost that $1 million, you'll probably be more depressed than you are right now, because you had $1 million and you lost it. But right now you don't have $1 million to lose. You see what I'm saying? So, but by the time you work on your energy and you get yourself spiritually right, you'll be in a mindset where even if you got it and you lost it, you don't give a fuck, because you got that inner happiness. So you need to get the inner happiness, which is the most important thing, which is you connecting to self. bliss state. That's what it is, the bliss state. So I don't want to say it's the bliss state because that's demonic, the bliss. But when I say this, when you're in knowing of self, you get feelings of that because you are on that consciousness. It's not about no drug addict. I don't want to feel good, and there's nothing like that. Yeah, but I'm gonna start. Actually, gonna anybody want to go on a fast with me? I'm gonna be starting a fast in a couple days, and I wanna bring people on this fast with me because I just seen Jay said I still fast for Muslim. The mistake I made. Yeah, man. Like at the end of the day, like what you gotta understand is like people do fucked up shit, but you always gotta look at yourself. At the end of the day, nobody forcibly took your money. You gave them your money. So you have some type of role in it. And the reason I believe things like that keep happening, maybe because there's lessons you need to learn on how to be affirm with yourself and not be too dependent on. Because if you have I think you said you had a Venus and Libra. A person with Venus and Libra, you really love to you like people a lot, and you like the validation of people. And when people say harsh things, it may sometimes get to you really deeply, and because you value the opinion of people a little bit too much, and even if they're really not even really onto what you're thinking, you just like the presence of people, and that's can be a detriment of that. And but Venus and Libra is a very good chart if you know how to hone it, but you got to like not want to be so cool with everyone because not everyone's your friend and you can't really trust anyone. You got to really look at the reality of the situation. Like for example, like me, if I was in a situation where like I'm at a job or somewhere and somebody come up to me telling me about investments, I'm gonna be like, okay, why are you working the same job as me and you're here and you're telling me about these investments? And why don't you just go and invest your own money if you have that and make and show me proof or something? Like I will look at the reality, not what they're telling me. I'll look at we're both at this job. He's working here. How's he dressed? What car is he driving? Um, just certain little things you'll see people who have money, like somebody who comes up to you and they're so worried about getting your money so much. That's kind of red flag. Cause somebody who's I've seen rich entrepreneur millionaires, and if anything, people come to them. They don't go to people because the way their shit is, people want to drain their energy. Anytime you're in a situation where people are trying to drain your energy, that means they have no energy. Anytime you're in a situation, everyone's draining your energy and you're the one, people, that means you have the energy. So you got to always look at the reality of the situation on what's going on, and don't let like things, because a lot of the things that probably blinded you, may blind you to make mistakes is part of the Masonic program and the mind control that subconsciously you didn't remove. So you felt like, oh, I should do this, I should be nice, or I should act this way. But it's really like, who said you need to act that way? That's just a that's a delusion. Remember, we're in Saturn and Pisces. So Saturn and Pisces, nobody's really seeing reality for what it is. Nobody's seeing really reality. Everyone is like they have a warped perception of reality. So you have to see reality what it is. And once you get past the mind control programming, you see it for what it is. And then this is what they don't want. You start talking like me, you start really being able to break shit down and without even really doing all your research. Like a lot of people think I read books and shit like that. I study from life. And I'm not saying don't ever read books and you shouldn't read books. That's because more knowledge is more knowledge. Like if I know everything and I read a book, that's just gonna add on to what I already know, and then I can break that book down and be able to decipher it and explain it to people who don't want to get out of that book. So it's good to learn external things so I can help people who don't know what I know and bring it to their level. Remember when I told you how I can relate and say some spiritual shit, but say it in a way that's third dimension, that way people can like kind of you see it like shit like that. So you got to understand like what the fuck's going on. But you gotta just don't. At this point, like I wouldn't even give anyone money for anything at this point. You really don't. You just like in terms of like somebody. So I'm gonna give you the service and like if you get like the way I look at it, if I would give anybody money, it's because I don't expect to get it back and I'm just being nice. I don't be like, okay, this person's gonna give me this or that. Because what can you do that I can't do for myself? That's how I look at it. And I'm not, cause, and there's certain people out there that have programs and shit that you can purchase and buy. Like the guy who had the trading course. I bought one of his trading courses, and that shit actually did work, and it made me some good money. So I'm not saying like don't ever, but you just gotta really like. This is why it's good to really know how to read energy. I'm just a Pisces sun in the seventh house, so I really can read energy when it comes to people because I have a Pisces sun in the seventh house. Seventh house is Libra, so I'm really, really, really fucking good when it comes to reading energy in people. I can feel people, and like I already know a mile away within a minute of talking to you. Not just what you're saying, but how you look, because where the mind goes, the body goes. How somebody looks, how they talk, how they walk, how they move, the little, the small nuances they do, how they pick up the cup, all that small shit you guys think is petty, that all correlates to how a motherfucker acts and is. I can somebody who has a lot of trauma, a female, for an example, some females, it's kind of graphic, but some females who were raped when they were younger, when they walk, their walk with like their legs kind of crossed because it's like it's the body's way of trying to protect them from the trauma because they were raped, so their legs automatically grow to a closed position. So you can see some women who are like have like it gets deep like that. A lot of you guys think I'm stupid. I don't care, but this is some deep shit. And I've seen it, like women that will say that they wear and they have that because where the mind goes, the body goes. So based on traumas and anger and what experiences, you can look a certain way. Why you think somebody who's a pedophile, they look a certain way? Because their mind is on that weird shit. So it bends in and they look weird because where the mind goes, the body goes. So if you really know how to read energy and know that, you could actually see these motherfuckers and expose them. Because a lot, and me knowing this, I can tell you guys a lot of people ain't shit in this world. A lot of people ain't shit in this world. I can tell you that. A lot of people ain't shit. A lot of people ain't shit in this world. Ah, man. And the funny thing is, when I see these homeless people, they be more happier on average than the regular sheep, like that work these regular shitty. I'm not saying like the rich people, upper middle class. I'm talking about the regular blue collar worker. It seems like these homeless people are like more happier than the middle class, blue collar, average worker. That's what it seems, because when I see these motherfuckers, like they have no worries, they have no cares, and they just on they shit. They don't have nothing. And then like you can just see it in the way they do shit. Like they don't have no. And like I feel like that's the reason why the government hates them, because because you notice how when like because you look at it, no one wants to be a fucking homeless. Nobody wants to live in a camp. Nobody wants to have any of that shit. So when people want to live in squalor and you have people hating on that, it makes you kind of wonder, like, why are you hating on somebody living in a dump? And when I look at it, is because they enjoy it. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them enjoy it. And when you enjoy something, that demon wants to take that joy, even if you don't have shit. The demon can have all the gold and money in the world, but when you have nothing, but you're still happy, the demon wants to find something to try to take that joy. So that's really what it fucking is. They want you just to be a miserable. Some people are starting to like be like, oh, just fuck it, I just be homeless and be this. And then like when I see them, because they be on drugs, and then they just, even when they on drugs, they be just so just chilling and just they don't give a fuck. And then you see other people, and then like I see this one dude, he's like 60, 70, he's on drugs. I'm like, this nigga like the 70 years old on drugs. But yet there's people who didn't take drugs and they'll swear not to drink alcohol and all that, and then they die from like fucking at the same age from high blood pressure because they ate too much fucking McDoubles on their lunch break. And I'm like, And they're both stupid sheep. They're sleep. So it's not like one's spiritual, one's not. So you can't say, well, he worked for this. He worked the dude. He didn't work for shit. He's in the same boat as a homeless person. At least the homeless person was high as fuck his whole fucking life and didn't do shit and work for the system. But at the end of the day, they still didn't do shit, both of them. Because they both weren't spiritual. They didn't do no spiritual work. And then this dude was miserable, and half his life was at a goddamn corporate office, or not even that, because that's upper middle class and shit. This nigga, this nigga probably working regular blue collar warehouse and plumbing and all this shit. By the time he's fucking 50, 60, his back is broken. That's, oh, work, get a trade, get a trade. It's good to learn how to do a trade, but work your whole life, 20, 40 years, you're a dumbass. Because by the time you get to 40, 50, your body's gonna be all fucking damaged from all the chemicals you breathed in, from all the plumbing chemicals and the cleaning and all that shit. Not to mention your back's gonna be hurting because you've been walking and fucking working your whole life on your damn back, and you're gonna be mentally unstable because 8 hours a day at a fucking goddamn job for 40 years is gonna have some type of mental instability on you. You're gonna be a fucking mess, and then they're gonna give you some medication and that's it. Whereas a dope head, his medication is that fucking meth. And he was taking that shit his whole life. So at the end of the day, like, if you ain't spiritual, it's like, what's the difference? Like, what the fuck is the difference? And it's funny because you go to these stupid ass jobs, and then they'll tell you, you don't make the company lose money. You're losing the company money. We're gonna fire you because you cost the company money because you delayed the process of what we were doing, and now we can't meet the deadline. You lost the company money. But then when the people who own the company and the stocks, the investor, whatever the fuck, the people up top, when they start doing layoffs because of it's hurting the company's money, people want to say something. So how can you fire somebody and get on their case and go snitch to the fucking whatever? Oh, this person's not doing his job, or we need to fire him, he's costing the company money. But then when the people up top, when they want to lay you off because you're costing the company's money, because that is a fact. Sometimes they overhire, and they'll hire for bullshit positions because companies may have a lot of money at one time. But when a company starts, like we're in an economic collapse right now and they're crashing the system, now they're gonna have to start cutting jobs that are unnecessary, and then they're doing that to save money, to save the company. But then the people, oh, why are they laying off all these people? You fucking idiot! They're doing what you upheld mentally throughout your whole time working at that job, trying to save the company money. They're trying to protect the company. Now they got to fire you as a problem. That's what I'm saying. This shit is fucking crazy. That's why people are stupid. And when you look at people, this is why the government, they're able to get away with what they're getting away with, because people are so stupid. Like, if you think it's normal to go to a 9 to 5 and work your whole life, then you deserve to get screwed over. If you're not intelligent and smart enough to go and create your own shit, this is how the government sees it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. This is how they see it. If you're not intelligent to do your own shit, then you deserve to get enslaved. So a lot of people, like, they're just writing their own thing, because what people want is their cake, and they want their cake and to eat it. You can't have your cake and eat it. Yeah, I just got a text message. Hold on, guys. Important. Give me a minute. I'm gonna see if I'm just, yeah, but hold on. Give me a minute. Yeah, this I had to respond, but anyway, what was I saying? Somebody remind me. And I'm gonna read some of these comments as well. He said, how do I know all this makes so much sense? It's because I've had a lot of experiences. I've done damn near everything that you can do. I remember when I was playing golf with my dad when I was like 8 years old. He's like, how do you hit the golf swing? So you're like, he's like, you don't even practice or nothing. You hitting the golf. I don't even know how to swing golf. And it's, I don't know, like, I was watching golf on TV, and I seen the guy swinging, and I just was hitting that shit hella far. And then with basketball, with soccer, like everything, I'm just naturally good at. Dancing, like, I'm just, because I've done damn near everything in a past life. I've done damn near everything. This is why I don't like everything, because the more you the more things you do and experience you have, the more you don't like, let's just say if I eat too much, or if I was somebody who had a lot of something, then it's going to play out in another life as me not liking that, because my spirit did it too many times. This is why I don't like shit. I don't like shit. You guys never see me talking about anything particular that I go hard at. I don't connect to Egypt. I don't connect to no Marvel movie comic characters. I don't fucking connect to this type of ideology and this fucking whatever. I don't connect to anything that's third dimensional because I don't give a fuck about this shit. I've done everything a lot of times. I'm not even supposed to be here. I fucked up. So like I'm supposed to get the fuck up out of here. And like I have a lot of well, that's not really important. I go in another video about it. Yeah, and I think I don't know. I also I've been looking at my shit, and I think I feel like I have a lot of Venetian energy, which I don't. It's not really good. Like it could be good, but it's not good because I looked at my chart and I have a lot of like I was born on a Friday, which is Venus. I was born on the 6th, which is Venus, and I was born in March, which is Venus. So like I came down here with a lot of like Venus energy and Luciferian energy. This Venus is Lucifer, so like I have to get the fuck out of my desires in this life. I can't do shit because I can't have any desires because I've experienced that shit so much. I experienced desires and pleasures and all that shit so much that in this life, like certain things play out where I can't even like I have to cut from all that shit because I was too gluttonous and I was into my desires sexually, even with food. This is why I don't like a lot of food because I was a glutton and shit. And like it affects me now. Like I don't like a lot of food and I'm fasting because I've ate, and even in this life, I was a glutton in the beginning of this life. Like I was eating like crazy. I remember I used to like, you know how people smoke weed to get high? That's how I used to eat, like to get high, like not to get high, but that's how I was eating. Like I ate out of pleasure because every time I smoked, I needed to eat, and I couldn't eat if I didn't smoke, and I couldn't smoke if I didn't eat. Like it was like the weed went with the drugs went with it. It wasn't just with weed. It was like even when I took pills and shit. Like I like eating and shit. Like this is what's back, and this is why I fast and I'm so hard at my diet and fasting because I had problems with that shit when I was just like. So this life I had to get the fuck out of my desires. This is why I always tell you guys like kill your desire, get the fuck up out of them, because that's what's gonna. If you don't get out of them, they're gonna get you. Like it's gonna end in tragedy. Because that's one way you can base on the spirits. How long the spirits being here is their wisdom. There's different wisdom, and intelligence is different. Intelligence is stuff you know in the reality. Wisdom is stuff that you know. Like if I knew, if me, let's just say, there's somebody who knows how to build a skyscraper. I don't know how to build a skyscraper because I don't have that intelligence. But if I knew how to build one, just like that guy knew how to build one, I will build it better because I can take my intelligence and my wisdom. He doesn't have wisdom like me, he just has intelligence how to build a skyscraper. If he doesn't have the wisdom like me, I'll be able to build one that looks way better. But since I don't know how to build a skyscraper, then that's why I can't build one, because I need to learn how to build it. But if I do, I'll know more than him. Like I tell people, you may know more than me, but if I knew everything you knew on top of what I know right now, I'll know more than you, because I can take everything you know and expand. You can't, because you know everything you know and you're not expanding on it as if I would have expand. Because you see what I'm saying? That's what you got to tell motherfuckers. They say, "Oh, I'm smarter than you." No, you're not, because you may know some things I don't know. That may be a fact, but if I knew what you knew, I'll be able to expand deeper because I have more wisdom than you, dumbass. And anybody can learn intelligence. And anybody can get wisdom, but it takes fucking ages of lifetimes to get wisdom to certain levels versus intelligence. You can get it in a lifetime or certain. Even it may take a while, but it's not as long as wisdom. Wisdom takes actually going through lifetimes and experiences. That takes time and energy. It takes time, like lifetimes. We're living a life right now, going through a lot of lives to go, and like that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I probably gotta go in a minute though, guys. I'll probably be on a little bit later. Let me read some more of these comments. Yeah, everybody in the room. Yeah, now I'm gonna start doing more yoga because that's one thing a lot of you people I feel like need to start doing is yoga. A lot of people be sleeping on yoga, and that's something I'm gonna start doing. And I want to make a video doing it. But it's just like the way, because when I'm doing yoga, I need to like get like a tripod to have me film it. Because when I'm on the floor doing it is weird in a way, and I want to have it done where you guys can see what I'm actually doing. Because I've been doing yoga for two ever since February 8th, 2021. Every single day since February 8th, 2021, I've been doing yoga. And if you look on my, I think it's this channel. If you look around, yeah, it should be on this channel. Yeah, if you look back into those videos, I think I'm hoping it's on this channel. But look back, it may be on my life, but I remember I made a video and I said this is my first day doing yoga and I feel good, and that was the first day I did it. It was February 8th, 2021. And then fast forward 2 years, almost 3 years, I'm doing it, and I can't even tell you guys the change. Like it's so weird because the change I don't even remember. Like when I look back right now, it's hard to remember how I was and the things I liked because it was such a slow process. It's like watching a kid grow up from age 2 to age 15. It's like you see them every day. You don't see them get tall. You just unless you go a gap in their life where you don't see them and then you see them. And but if you see them every day you grow up, you don't see your family members get older, but then they're getting older because it's so small. That's how this process was. And like a lot of the way I think, the things I like, desires, food, I don't even like a lot of food no more. And I know it's because of the yoga, because after in April of 2021, 2 months after I did yoga, I remember I had got a burrito from the truck and it tasted different. Like it didn't like it wasn't like it tasted bad. It just it wasn't fulfilling. Like if I didn't like, you know, when you eat you get filled full. I felt like I didn't need to eat it. It wasn't satiating. Like I didn't need that much of it. And like right now, I can't like if I eat that shit, it's just out of pleasure. It's not because I'm hungry at all. It's out of pleasure, like when I'm eating. And even when I drink water, I can't drink water no more. Like when I swallow water, it feels weird. Like when I drink water, I wish I had some right now. I drink it, I swish it around my mouth, and I'll spit it out. I'll swallow a little bit just to get a little water in me. And but like that's it. But if I just swallow water and drink it, I can do it, but it just feels weird. Like it doesn't satiate me. The only time I get satiated from water is when I'm eating. Like what if I'm eating something and I'm thirsty? That's the only time would I be thirsty, when I'm eating, or like I'm doing something extremely strenuous or whatever. But if I'm just chilling throughout the whole day indoors all day, I don't drink water. Like I'll swish it around my mouth and that hydrates me, and I'll swallow a little bit. And pretty soon I won't even need that because it's like I need less food. And even like when I get hungry, it's not like how you like when you guys get hungry, you guys it's not the same as me. If I don't eat, I just feel low energy and kind of sluggish, and that's it. And I just feel like a urge to like want to put something in my body, but it's not like a hunger, a ratiating, ravaging hunger, but it's not like that. And then I eat like a fruit or something small, and then it satiates my stomach, and then I'm able to keep going. That's why like right now I steal all my food now because I don't eat as much, and the food that I do eat, I just steal it. The only time I'll spend money on food is if I'm like gonna buy something or like at a restaurant or some shit. I don't even go to restaurants no more. I only go to fucking the taco truck, and I only pick certain trucks because I don't trust any place with my fucking. That's another thing. Don't go to anywhere to buy your product and buy your food. No, I don't have one. Nigga asked me for a lighter. I got one. I just don't feel like dealing it with that shit. It's fucking annoying. But it's just crazy. I thought that nigga was wearing a fucking Burger King hat. You know those little Burger King hats that used to give you. That nigga's hat looks like that, like a little fucking Burger King hat. But shit. Yeah, but that yoga, man, a lot of people be sleeping on that yoga. That yoga ain't no fucking joke. Like you guys need to get on that shit and start right now because the progress for yoga it takes time, but you feel it within the first 2 3 weeks. You gonna feel enough to want to. That's what made me keep going because I felt the results. Then once you start feeling the results, then you want to keep going. That's why I keep going because every month, like I feel like if I do this shit for probably 4 or 5 more years, I probably wouldn't even need to eat no more. Cause I notice my appetite keeps getting smaller and smaller, and it's weird. Like it's not like it just goes away. Like it's weird. Like I can't explain it to you guys. You guys gotta like be on the experience. Like my appetite's like it's slowly like going away. Like I don't even get like it's weird because the time like when I feel like I need to eat, it's not because I'm hungry. It's more like my stomach may be kind of irritating me, and I'm just low energy. That's it. I don't get hungry like that really. Yeah, that shit was funny. He thought that he went and said happy birthday, like he thought it was gonna be a good thing, and he's like, get the fuck out. Oh man. What the fuck is on? Goddamn. But yeah. So if anybody got any questions, man, I'll probably be on a little bit. Yeah. Just went to this fucking just chilling. Where's mine? Hold on, give me a minute, guys. Looking for my fucking. Oh, there you go. Yeah, but what's up with everyone, man? Hold on, let me put my. I also take this as well. This is for my teeth. This is the only thing I use. I don't use this is toothpaste, but it's foam. This actually gets rid of cavities, gum disease, everything. It reverses it, gets rid of it. So if you have any cavities, gum disease, anything, this herb is a herbal thing. It's nothing but herbs in it. Garlic, Gala japonica, trifala, chamomile, and mint and water and stuff. Like so it's like it's nothing but herbs. Swish, I'm gonna show you niggas right now. Yeah. Yeah, I do that shit. Oh shit, I gotta do my stretch too. Fuck, I didn't even do it. But it's good though. Today is I'm not really doing anything today. Usually I like to get it done because I be busy. Just trying to get shit done and but today I'm good today. I'm free today, so I can chill. That's why I remembered. I was like, why am I supposed to do that shit hella early? But I was like, I forgot I'm not doing shit today. Yeah. Yeah, But if I could give you guys any advice, I suggest you guys do yoga every day. Every day do yoga if you can. I don't care if you're feeling depressed, sad, miserable, whatever. Every day make it your routine. Do that every day and do like I said. I'm gonna post a video on my community tab when I'm done with this live stream of the two of the yoga video that helped me. It was by this white lady. Her name was Cole Chance Yoga, Cole Chance Yoga. She was like, when her yoga channel, that shit actually helped me because I was watching yoga channels before that and it never worked for me because the stupid motherfuckers weren't doing the poses long enough. She was the first one to actually do the poses long enough, and that actually helped because my shit was really fucked up. So I've been doing her fucking like that shit that she did. I've been doing that every day. And I add my own variants to it. Don't do exactly it because I needed to. That's a beginner, and in the beginning, that was actually too much for me. But now I can fucking. I have to add on to that. Like the video I'm gonna post is like 15 minutes, and it's a beginner. But now my sessions are like over 20 minutes, and I do like the same neck muscles, but I stretch them out longer because the beginner workout's not enough for me because I have to go longer. Because the more you do it, the more you become more flexible in your body. Then your body can breathe more, so you can feel things more that you didn't feel before. Because you guys think like the whole nervous system is controlling your feelings. So when your spine is blocking your nervous system, you're not feeling life 100%. So when you start removing those blockages, you're able to feel life differently, not just physically, but mentally. So you're actually to see, hear, and feel things. This is why I'm able to, like guys say, I have so much wisdom. You guys watched my channel 2 years ago. I wasn't speaking like this. That's because I was not into my yoga journey as far as and the fasting, but the yoga and the fasting is what helped me develop it. Because once you get to the certain frequency, you just start knowing. You get into because you know everything. You just got to remember it because you've had these experiences in your past life. Like you what you did yesterday. You know what you did yesterday. So nobody can tell you what you didn't do because you know what you did yesterday because it was fucking yesterday. You know what the fuck you know everything because you did it in a past life. You have in remembrance of it. You just got to remember to remember. And once you unlock your spinal energies, you able to feel it. That's one way to do it. For me, that's what it was. I don't want to make it look like that's all end all be all because that's not with spirituality. It's there's no system with spirituality. That's what the new age wants you to think is a system, but everybody's different. But I'm telling you what worked for me and what should work for you, because if you're even gravitating into my channel and came on this path, most likely what I'm doing can't help you. It's not no coincidence you found my channel. And if it can't, then you tried it, it didn't work. And then you go on to do something else. But I'm telling you what helped me. I'm not saying that this is the cure and cure all. Those motherfuckers will start because people in today, people don't want to actually get better. People want to just cater to their ego. So instead of actually trying yoga to make it to see if it works, you're gonna have some assholes out there. Oh, it doesn't work. How does this work? Well, at the same time, they're explaining me how it doesn't work while being miserable, where I'm actually in a better state mentally because I'm doing it. So people, they just want to be catered to their ego. They don't want to get better. People don't want to get, they just want to cater to their ego and to their thoughts and their feelings. Like that's one thing I realize about people. They just want to cater, especially like women out here. Like you, like a lot of men out here will say, "Oh, these women are bitches," and they be acting like that. And it's because most women have been mind controlling programmed to want to always point to blame externally because people don't treat them how they think they should be treated. And they what's the other thing I just said? They want to just point the blame at people because they're not treated how they want to be fucking treated. That's how women are. And when you don't treat them the way that they want to be treated, they get upset. So that's how most people are. They want to be catered to their thoughts and feelings. That's what I meant. So when you don't cater to a person's thoughts and feelings, they get emotional like a woman. Because women want you to cater to their thoughts and feelings, which is nothing wrong with it. But you got to understand, most women aren't shit. If you have a woman who ain't shit, if you have a woman that's actually worth something, that has something, then it makes sense to give and take. She provide, you provide. But when you have these women out here who ain't shit, they think just because they got a pussy, they deserve everything. That's the reason why you attract niggas who just fucking dump your ass and don't give a shit about you, and you can never find true love, you stupid bitch, because that's all you care about is people catering to your thoughts and feelings. Most women, they want men to cater to their thoughts and feelings, and when men don't do that, then they want to project the issue that it's a man's fault or men are the problem or men are the issue. But they don't understand, like, we all play a role and we all have responsibility to take. If you're a bitch always talking about narcissist men, then when I look at a woman talking about narcissist men so much, I'm like, you're the narcissist, because why are you attracting these narcissist men? Because you can't sit here and act like there's not women out here that aren't dealing with narcissist men. But why are you a woman dealing with narcissist men? So bitch, that shows me something about you. Because women don't have shit to offer. And I'm not talking down about women, I'm not saying all women, but I'm just using this as an example because I'm gonna go into men too, because men's fucked up too, to balance it out. But women, they want you to treat them as they think they should be treated without them actually doing what's necessary for somebody to be treated, because they'll go and they'll see another woman being treated a certain way, and then they think that you need to treat them like that. But it's like, bitch, you're not shit. She might be something. You see what I'm saying? And then this is why you have a lot of bitter, angry women out there who fucking think every man is like this. And it's not a good mindset, because when you have women that are bitter and angry, the men that they're attracted to they treat them like shit, because the way the universe works is like, if you're gonna talk shit to men who are actually gonna give you respect, I'm gonna have the men that you actually like treat you like shit. So now she can't find true love, because remember I told you bitches want true love, men want the pussy. So just like a man wants pussy, I'm not saying men don't want true love and women don't want dick. I'm not saying, but on the most majority level, just as you as a man want the fuck as many bitches and want pussy, a woman wants a relationship and wants a man that can treat her like a princess and be everything in her. That's what a woman wants. So when a woman doesn't get that, she doesn't really feel feminine. When a woman feels like she can't control her reality and can control men, she doesn't feel feminine. And that's when women get angry and they turn bitter and they start hating on men, because they refuse to heal themselves to attract a good man, but they just start bitching about men. Same thing with like the niggas out here, but it's vice versa. Men is a little bit different, but it's still the same shit. I'm able to break it down because it's the same energy men go through, but the illusion is different. I know the energy, so I could just change the illusion and break it down. It's the same fucking thing, and it corresponds to actual life, because you can see it play out in reality. Like I said, my channel actually corresponds. So you can't say, "Oh, what you're saying is wrong," but you know damn well what I'm saying is fucking right, because it corresponds to life. But if anybody got any questions. You never know what these motherfuckers do. They might shut my shit down, so I gotta be careful. I still can't believe they try to shut my motherfucking channel down. These stupid motherfuckers. They try to say harassment. Just think about it. When do you see somebody with when you see niggas channel get banned, it's usually for medical misinformation, or like that's mainly it. Medical misinformation. That's really what they've been going hard on. Because before, niggas channels weren't going down really, unless you talked about that, or you were talking like you just did something like some porn or some shit. But it was mainly medical misinformation. People take your channel down, and then they'll do copyrights, or maybe you drop some, like show some nudity. But for harassment is nothing more than trolling, right? Isn't that what everybody's doing? Everybody's trolling, right? Why are they getting me for harassment? That's why when I wrote the appeal, I was like, how the hell are you gonna just appeal? I said, I typed, I'm like, you should at least give me a warning or something, because like, who was I harassing? A fictional person? Nobody's name was mentioned. I said that, and they said, oh, we made a mistake and shit. If you made a mistake, you should have not gave me a strike. But that shit was crazy. But like they're going hard. I feel like in the future they're gonna be going hard on this trolling. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna be able to talk shit on the internet in the future. Like when I'm not saying talk shit, I'm not talking just talk shit about the government. I'm talking about the people who just fucking like they live with their parents and they just troll and talk all like you're not. They're gonna shut that shit down because what they're gonna do is they're gonna do a lot of shit with this internet. And you're gonna pretty much they're gonna make it where your identity is gonna be on the internet. So you're gonna have to have a if you want to make money on the internet, which everyone needs money is gonna want to make money, you're gonna have to have your ID, your social, and then they're gonna have a like social media. This is what they may do if people don't wake the fuck up. But what they're trying to do is have it where your social media is gonna you're gonna have to like add license plate and social security and all that other stupid shit to have a social account. And if you want to make money, you got to put all that information in it. It's gonna limit trolling because now if you troll, niggas gonna know who you is, and they're gonna make it in a way because you're gonna be able to get paid from on the internet. So anytime you make an account and you troll, you're gonna not be getting money, which you could be getting money for. So it's gonna get people to not want to do that. Like they're gonna shut this trolling shit down. I feel, and they're gonna do a cyber attack. A cyber attack, and they're gonna say they're gonna do a cyber attack, and it's gonna make the internet go down, and they're gonna probably do a cyber attack and fuck with the banks, but they're gonna do some type of cyber attack. Anytime you see a cyber attack, anything to do with technology that's is glitching or the AI is malfunctioning or the computer system is down, any fucking time, it's the government and it's an agenda. There's never gonna be a time where some type of technology is glitching and it's not the government. Always understand that shit. So they're gonna do a cyber attack. They're gonna do one with the banks. They're gonna do one with the motherfucking. It's gonna be a cyber attack, and it's gonna go down. And they're gonna do one probably with social media, where social media is gonna probably go down for like a few months, maybe even a year. I don't know, but it's gonna go down, and they're gonna do it on certain alignment. So when it happens, it's gonna be on a certain alignment. So they're not saying it's gonna be this, but Saturn may go into Aries, or Uranus may go into Gemini, or Jupiter may retrograde after the same week that Mercury goes retrograde and they're conjuncting. It's going to be an astrological date is when they're going to do it. And that's a telltale sign you know it's the government doing it because they're studying astrology. That's how they're even able to build. How do you think they're able to build these buildings? Because they use astrology and then they track like the way the astrology is, and they bring it down to mathematics and measurements, and then they can create like buildings. So this is why everything looks the way it does, and it looks the same because they're using the blueprint from astrology to transform the astrology and to turn into mathematics and measurements and geometry, and then they'll make a building out of it. And then this is why they're able to have a building that looks like perfect and neat because they're using certain blueprint from astrology. So you guys will understand, like the astrology, all astrology, and if anybody says astrology is fake, saying if you say astrology is fake, that means you're saying that the sun stays in one space. Because all astrology is tracking the position of the sun. When the sun is in Aries, that means the sun moved to a certain location, and so it's in Aries. You see what I'm saying? When the sun is in Libra, it moved to a certain location, so it's in Libra. So when it's in that spot, we call it Aries. So when the sun is in this position, we call that Aries. So the sun moves. You can't say the sun doesn't move. So when the sun moves, it's in a different spot. That's astrology. You have a birthday. You don't say your birthday's on your friend's birthday because that wouldn't make sense because the sun wasn't in that position. So see, I say everything's correspondence in real life. You should break it down. If you can't break it down in real life, then it most likely does not exist. You should be able to see it. Even in your past life, you can see your piece. Oh, past lives don't exist. How do you go? I can say I can be like what I'm experiencing and going through and what I know is because of my past life. Because why don't you know and have the experience? And even down to the way I look and shit. It all comes from somewhere. It didn't just come from nowhere. Yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna end this shit though. And good that we have people in here. I probably come on a little bit later. But peace out. No Faye. I got some weed in my hand, so I can't do peace, but you guys know what it is.